Have you ever wondered why some men are simply unforgettable to women, years, even decades after the relationship ended? It is not the guy who bought her flowers every Friday. It is not the man who constantly texted her good morning or bent over backwards to keep her smiling. It is someone else entirely, and the truth may be a little uncomfortable, especially if you have been doing what most men are told to do. You see, we have been lied to. From movies to dating advice columns, the message is clear. To win her heart, you must chase her, praise her, give her your full attention, and never let her forget how much she means to you. Sounds sweet, does it not? Harmless. But here is the twist. Those are the very men women tend to forget. Not because they were not kind, not because they did not try, but because they failed to leave an emotional imprint that lasts. The men women never forget are different. They do not fit the nice guy mold. They do not smother her with attention. They do not fear walking away. And most importantly, they do not live their lives trying to be remembered. That is what makes them unforgettable. Because deep down, women do not crave men who worship them. They crave men who challenge them, men who feel rare, men who make them. Pause, question, reflect. The man who does not chase, who controls his emotions, who holds the power to walk away, and yet remains deeply present in his own life. That man plants seeds in a woman's psyche that continue to grow long after he is gone. This is not manipulation. This is not playing games. This is power. Masculine, grounded, real, and most men have never been taught how to access it. But today, that changes. In this video, we are not going to toss a garcoat. We are going to explore 7 deep shifts, 7 traits that separate the man she forgets from the man she thinks about in silence, late at night, wondering what made him so different. And fair warning, this will not be easy to hear. If you have been the nice guy, the fixer, the overgiver, some of this may sting, but truth only hurts when it hits something real. So here's the deal. I will not ask you to agree with everything. I will just ask you to listen, like a man who is ready to change. Because becoming unforgettable does not start with her. It starts with you. Let us begin with the first and perhaps most misunderstood principle of masculine attraction, the power of not chasing. The power of not chasing. Why indifference can be irresistible. Do women really forget the men who worship them? The ones who text all day, offer constant compliments, and go out of their way to be available? The answer might shock you, but yes, they do, and they forget them quickly. Here is the truth nobody tells you. The more predictable your presence becomes, the less she thinks about you when you are gone. Chasing does not equal attraction. In fact, the more you chase, the more she pulls away. Because when you chase, you signal that you are the prize being evaluated. You give her the power, whether you realize it or not. No matter how kind or consistent you are, if a woman sees you as easily accessible, she will unconsciously devalue you. It is not cruelty. It is psychology. Human nature does not crave what is always available. It craves what is scarce. What makes gold valuable? Rarity. What makes attention powerful? Selectivity. When a man chases, he essentially announces, I have nothing better to do than try to win you. It may feel noble or romantic, but it is the beginning of your forgettability. The men women remember do not chase. They allow connection to unfold, without pressure or performance. When there is chemistry, they do not rush it. When there is interest, they do not obsess over it. They do not try to impress. They are impressive. And that changes everything. Imagine a man meets a woman at a social event. There is spark, laughter, good conversation. Instead of bombarding her with texts the next day, he gives space. He does not disappear. He simply does not make her the center of his universe overnight. He keeps focusing on his life, his goals, his routine. She begins to wonder, why is he not chasing? Did he not enjoy our time? Is he seeing someone else? Who is this guy? That wonder is where attraction lives. It lives in the space, not in the saturation. Not chasing does not mean ignoring. It does not mean playing hard to get or acting cold. It means allowing desire to be mutual. It means staying in your masculine frame, where your value does not rise or fall based on her response. You are open to her interest, but not dependent on it. This shift is everything. The man who does not chase is demonstrating self-possession. He is not selling himself. He is showing that if she is not aligned, he is okay walking away. This confuses many women, especially those used to being chased. It creates a pause in their emotional pattern, and that pause is powerful. The less predictable you are, the more she thinks about you. Here is the plot twist. When you stop chasing, women often begin to chase you. Not because you are playing games, but because you have become emotionally rare. You have become calm, confident, unattached to outcome. Most men are conditioned to seek approval, to overgive attention, to overexpress emotions. That is fear in disguise. But the man who is okay with silence, the man who is not afraid to be forgotten, lingers in her mind. He becomes a question mark in a world full of answers. His absence does the talking. One of the greatest secrets of masculine presence is this: when you stop trying to be remembered, you often become unforgettable. So the next time you feel tempted to prove yourself, pause and ask, what is more powerful? Being chosen because you chased her, or being desired because you did not? Because the man who does not chase is not passive. He is powerful. And that power is what women remember. Now, speaking of power, what happens when a man not only refuses to chase, but also knows when to walk away? That is where we go next. Walk away power. The man who chooses, not clings. If not chasing is powerful, what happens when a man takes it even further and walks away entirely? Why do most men fear walking away from a woman? The answer is simple but heavy. They think if they do not hold on tightly, they will lose her forever. They confuse attachment with love. Here is the uncomfortable truth. The more afraid you are to lose her, the more you already have. Most men live in silent fear. The fear of being abandoned, replaced, forgotten. That fear makes them over-indexed, tolerate disrespect, swallow drama, and stay in dynamics that destroy their self-worth. All because they believe walking away means failure. But it does not. It means freedom. It means clarity. It means understanding your value. The man who walks away without fear is not heartless. He is centered in the belief that peace is worth more than presence, that respect is more valuable than romance, that staying in something one-sided does not make him loyal. It makes him lost. Walking away is not giving up. It is choosing yourself. What is more attractive? A man who panics at every sign of distance, or a man who calmly steps back when the energy feels off without accusation or drama? That kind of poise is unforgettable because it is rare. Most men want to fix everything. She becomes distant. He sends flowers. She plays games. He writes long texts. She disrespects him. He blames himself. The silent messages, please do not leave me. Nothing kills respect faster than that. Women test boundaries not to watch a man fold, but to see if he will stand his ground. A man who can walk away, even when it hurts, radiates quiet power. He does not chase closure or need a reason to reclaim his space. That man becomes larger in her mind the moment he steps back. Often she returns, not because it is a game, but because she feels the emotional gravity of his strength. She realizes she lost not a boyfriend, but a man who did not need her to feel whole. Walking away challenges the ego. It stirs loneliness, validation addiction, the what if. But masculinity is not always about winning. It is about knowing when not to play. This is not about being cold or punishing. It is about choosing alignment over attachment, saying, I want you, but I refuse to lose myself for you. That is strength. That is leadership. That is what women respect long after chemistry fades. The ability to walk away sets a standard. It draws a line in the sand. This is how I expect to be treated. This is the energy I give and what I allow in return. If you cannot meet me here, I will not stay. Most men blur that line. They move it further back each time it is crossed, and that is why she stops respecting them, even if she still likes them. Women may not say it out loud, but they feel it deeply. The man who stays true to his standard becomes her mirror, reflecting what she must grow into. The man who bends for convenience becomes a cushion soft, forgettable, replaceable. Asterisk, asterisk, truth does not apologize. A man willing to walk away is not heartless. He is whole. He understands no connection, no matter how intoxicating is, worth compromising his center. Ask yourself, where are you holding on to something that drains you? Where are you afraid to let go because you think you will never find better? Flip it. What if walking away opens space for better to find you? When you are no longer afraid to walk away, you become someone she cannot walk away from emotionally. Not by manipulation, but by the gravity of your strength. Emotional mastery. Why stability wins every time. So far you have learned not to chase and how to walk away. Now we arrive at something rare and transformative, something that changes not only your relationships, but your entire life. What makes a woman feel emotionally safe with a man? Is it the man who says, I love you 10 times a day, or the one who shares every fleeting thought? No, it is the man who stays calm when others panic, who listens before reacting, who feels emotions, but never allows them to control him. That man becomes the emotional anchor she did not know she needed. Emotional mastery does not mean you do not feel. It means your feelings do not dictate your behavior. It is authenticity grounded in control, not unfiltered reaction. Modern culture praises vulnerability. Share your pain, they say. But expression only has value when rooted in maturity. A man who vents jealousy, fear, frustration without filter appears unstable, not brave. And nothing kills attraction faster than instability. Women are intuitive. They experience daily emotional waves. They seek balance, groundedness, presence. A man who mirrors turbulence does not steady her. He amplifies it. Eventually, she stops trusting him. If you collapse every time she tests you, if your mood shifts with every text, every silence, she will no longer see you as a rock. She will see you as an amplifier, and that drives her away. Imagine she ignores your message. A man without emotional control panics. He sends follow-ups, imagines worst-case scenarios, perhaps accuses her, perhaps withdraws. Either way, he spirals and attraction dies. Now reverse it. Same scenario, but the man pauses. He does not assume or react. He continues his day, rooted in his life. That stillness is magnetic. She feels he is not dependent on her for emotional regulation. He governs his own state. This is what women crave, emotional availability without fragility. It is not suppression. It is management. Feel the emotion rise, but choose your response with calm deliberation. That is masculine energy. Do not confuse control with coldness. The strongest men are emotionally intelligent. They can admit disappointment without blame, express desire without neediness, stand firm without aggression. That is mastery. A woman can be drawn to a man she does not love, but she cannot stay attracted to a man she does not respect. Respect is forged in testing, when emotions flare, when things get hard, when she pushes. In those moments, your foundation is revealed. Emotional mastery benefits every area of your life work, friendship, crisis, because you are not tossed by. Every wave, you are the wave. Developing this takes practice. Observe your triggers. Pause before reacting. Breathe. Ask, am I responding from strength or reacting from fear? Do not react. Do not explain. Do not control. Simply observe and respond with calm intention. Each moment you choose composure over chaos, you rewire yourself. You become less reactive, more rooted, more intentional. When you show up centered, people notice. Women notice. You become the man they turn to, not because you are loud, but because you are solid. The next time she pushes your buttons, do not react. Hold space. Remain present. Let your calm be the loudest statement in the room. While most men panic, you will stay centered and that peace is what lingers. Approval kills attraction. Be the standard, not the seeker. You have mastered your emotions. You do not chase, and you know when to walk away. Now comes a subtle test most men fail without realizing it. Seeking approval. Are you living for her, reaction, or for your own truth? You may not chase with gifts, but do you adjust your opinions to avoid conflict? Do you edit your tone so she does not get upset? That is approval seeking, and it is rooted in insecurity. Approval seeking repels respect. Women do not respect men who need validation. They may enjoy compliments, but they do not respect them. Without respect, attraction cannot survive. There is a difference between kindness and compliance. The former comes from strength, the latter from fear. A man who seeks approval lives in performance mode, scanning for reactions, adjusting to expectations, striving to say the right thing. He becomes forgettable because he orbits someone else's world instead of living his own. Imagine a woman challenges your view. If you seek approval, you will backtrack or soften your stance to keep peace. But if you are grounded, you will smile and say, it is okay for us to disagree, and move on without defense or explanation. That is the moment between being liked and being respected. Women test frames subconsciously through raised eyebrows, teasing, or challenge. Each test asks, are you rooted or will you bend? The more you bend, the less she trusts your leadership. Paradoxically, the man who does not seek approval often gains it. His confidence is rare and earned, making his validation meaningful. When you need nothing, you attract everything. This is not an invitation to rudeness or dominance. It is an invitation to presence, quiet, stable, confident presence. A man who knows himself without needing applause is magnetic. Many men mistake courtesy for respect and shrink to avoid upset. But safe men never excite. They become friends or backups, then vanish from memory. The man who stands firm, who is not threatened by disagreement, becomes unforgettable. Not because he was loud, but because he was solid. Here is the mindset shift. Stop trying to win her over. Observe if she aligns with your world. She is not the prize, and neither are you. The relationship is the prize, and both of you must vet and choose. Do not shapeshift or over-explain. Live boldly in your truth without waiting for approval. Let her experience a man who says, this is who I am. You are welcome to join me, but I am not pausing to earn your smile. That is magnetic. Asterisk, asterisk, ask yourself, where are you editing your truth to be liked? Where are you afraid of disagreement? Where are you fishing for validation you do not need? The moment you stop needing her approval is the moment she begins to wonder if she is enough for you. That flippant dynamic is where deep attraction lives. Next, we will explore how making your attention scarce creates even greater leverage. Attention as leverage. Make her earn it, or she will waste it. Now that we have dismantled approval-seeking, let us discuss something more powerful and more dangerous when misused: your attention. What happens when a man gives his attention too easily? He becomes forgettable. Attention is currency, value, energy. In a world addicted to likes and texts, attention is scarce and thus powerful. Most men squander it. They meet someone attractive and immediately flood her with texts, compliments, time, and favors. Not because she earned it, but because she is pretty. They invest in fantasy, not reality, and their free-flowing attention becomes background noise. Women are wired to tune out what is predictable and overly available. But when a man's attention is selective and intentional, it becomes addictive. It is no longer a default. It is a reward. Consider a man committed to his goals, his fitness, his friendships. He meets a woman. There is chemistry. He does not cancel plans or become instantly available. He lets things unfold naturally, replies with presence but not urgency, offers quality connection without constant communication. His time is valuable. His attention is earned. She feels it. At first she may be confused. Why is he not chasing? Why is he composed? Why do I want more of him when he is not trying to impress me? That curiosity leads to desire and emotional investment because she must work for it. What we work for, we protect. Most men believe constant attention deepens feelings. In reality, it breeds entitlement and disinterest. Women want to earn a place in your world, not have access by default. When your attention is given without standards, you gain temporary smiles, but no lasting memory. But when it is reserved for those who show up fully, with presence, peace, consistency, you become unforgettable. This is not manipulation. It is prioritizing what matters: your mission, your focus, your peace. The less you give away, the more people want. Your scarcity signals self-worth. How to apply this? Audit your energy. Who receives your attention and why? Are you investing in connection or distraction? Are you offering value or begging for validation? Set standards, rhythms, and non-negotiables. If she fails to meet your energy, do not punish, pull back. Let her feel your absence. Wonder about your presence. Decide if she wishes to earn it. Asterisk women remember men who made them feel they had to show up fully, not because he demanded it, but because he inspired it. In a world full of noise, the man who protects his energy becomes the most magnetic signal of all. Having mastered not chasing, walking away, emotional control, and approval-free presence, we arrive at the final trait: mystery, the unsolved puzzle. Why mystery triggers obsession? You have stopped chasing. You know when to walk away. You control your emotions. You need no approval, and you make your attention scarce. You are already uncommon, yet there is one invisible quality that transforms interesting into unforgettable. Mystery. Is it better to be fully understood or endlessly intriguing? Most men believe that honesty is the key. Share everything and she will feel closer. But once something is fully known, the mind stops chasing it. Women crave emotional discovery. They seek depth, curiosity, unfolding layers. When a man reveals himself too quickly, mystery dies, and with it, attraction fades. Mystery does not mean secrecy or deceit. It means allowing space. It means revealing yourself like a story, not a resume gradually, intentionally, layer by layer. Imagine after a great date she asks, "What are you doing this weekend?" You could list every plan, or you could say, "I have some things to take care of. I may be offline for a bit," with a slight smile. No over-explaining, no itinerary. That response is not rude. It is intriguing. It opens a loop and creates curiosity. Curiosity fuels engagement, investment, desire. When you are slightly unpredictable, Do not explain every mood and leave questions unsolved. You become a puzzle she wants to solve. People chase what they cannot predict. The man who maintains just enough distance to keep her thinking becomes a magnet. Mystery also emerges in your reactions. She expects jealousy, but you remain calm. She tests you, but you stay grounded. That unpredictability is not confusion. It is compelling. Most men are obvious. Their patterns are predictable. Their behavior transparent. And transparent things are boring. The man who lingers in her mind is the one she never fully figures out. When you withhold some details, your past, your feelings, your internal world, you keep her imagination engaged. Depth without overexposure preserves tension, and tension keeps attraction alive. This does not preclude vulnerability. It requires timing. You offer pieces, not the whole puzzle, and let her earn discovery through genuine connection, not manipulation. Mystery also reflects in your lifestyle. You are sometimes unavailable, not to punish, but because you are busy building your life. Women are fascinated by men in motion, not men waiting to be chosen. Bring mystery into real life. Delay responses, hold silence, answer questions with questions, share anecdotes that hint at more. Let her lean in. Mystery is not manipulation. It is power, the quiet power of self-sufficiency. The men women never forget are the ones they never fully unraveled. The ones whose presence always suggested there was more beneath the surface. That lingering intrigue is what makes them unforgettable. Asterisk, now we arrive at the final layer. You have mastered indifference, departure, emotional stability, approval-free presence, selective attention, and mystery. But there is one last trait that elevates these into legacy. Your mission. Purpose over romance. A man on a mission is unforgettable. One final question cuts through every tactic and technique we have discussed. Is love your mission, or is it part of the world you are building? Here's the truth most men avoid. If she becomes your purpose, you will lose both her and yourself. Too many men meet someone and feel that rush of chemistry. Suddenly, she becomes the center of their universe. Their routine shifts, goals take a back seat, energy bends around her mood and availability. At first, she may feel flattered, but over time she begins to pull away, not because you are not nice, but because you made her your mission and abandoned yours. A woman does not want to be your purpose. She wants to join a man who already has one. She does not want to be the sun. She wants to orbit a man whose life already burns with meaning. When you forget that, when your career, health, and personal code take second place to her approval, she senses it deeply. If you can lose yourself for her, how can she trust you to lead? This is not coldness or neglect. It is remembering who you are before you met her. The man women never forget is not the one who loved the hardest. It is the one who stayed truest to himself while loving her. When a man is fully immersed in his mission, building something real, pursuing mastery, evolving with purpose, his energy sharpens. He does not chase because he is focused. He does not overreact because he has no time for drama. He does not abandon himself because he knows who he is and what he is here to do. That energy is electric and rare. Women are drawn to men on a mission, not because they are ignored, but because they are needed to join a journey, not to fill a void. The busier you are building, the more valuable your time becomes in her eyes. A man who sets clear priorities commands respect and curiosity. He invites rather than begs. He includes rather than revolves. His love is a choice, not a necessity. Contrast. Two men. The first rearranges his entire life for a woman, drops friends, sacrifices goals, becomes available 24/7. Romantic, perhaps, but not magnetic for long. The second meets a woman he likes, but never changes his core focus. He is kind, present, and open, but he does not skip workouts or abandon his creative process. She sees interest, but never distraction. Which man leaves the deeper impression? You know the answer. The man on a mission is not trying to be unforgettable. He simply is, because he is moving, growing, becoming. Momentum, direction, purpose. People do not forget those. So ask yourself, what is your mission? Not your job title or future fantasy, but what you are building and protecting right now. If the answer is vague, it is time for clarity. A man with no mission becomes emotionally dependent, making a woman his identity. That energy feels heavy. A man in purpose is light, free, and attractive. When he loves with strength, not desperation. That kind of love is unforgettable. Reclaim your direction. Rise earlier. Train harder. Create more. Cut distractions. Audit your time. Build your vision. If a woman joins your path, welcome her, but never pause the journey to win her attention. Let her earn presence in your world just as you earned your own. Asterisk. If she leaves, let her. You are not building your life for someone to complete you. You are building it so no one can ever take you from yourself again. That mindset changes everything, how you show up, who you attract, and the quality of love that enters your life. Purpose is not something you chase. It is something you return to every day, no matter who is watching, no matter who stays or leaves. So the next time you feel tempted to make someone your everything, pause, look in the mirror, and remind yourself, I already have a mission. I do not need saving. I need to keep building. That is the man women never forget. Becoming the man she cannot forget starts now. Now you know. She does not remember the man who chased her. She remembers the one who did not need to. She does not remember the man who begged to stay. She remembers the one who walked away with dignity. She does not remember the man who reacted emotionally to every mood swing. She remembers the one who stayed calm in the chaos. She does not remember the man who bent over backwards for approval. She remembers the one who stood firm in who he was. She does not remember the man who gave his attention freely. She remembers the one who made her earn it. She does not remember the man who told her everything. She remembers the one who left her wondering. And most of all, she cannot forget the man who lived with purpose and invited her to join his mission. Not become it. Ask yourself now, which of these traits have you mastered, and which ones have you been avoiding? Every man falls somewhere on this spectrum. Maybe you have chased too much. Maybe you have stayed too long. Maybe you made her your purpose and lost yourself. It is okay, because now you know better. This is not about self-blame. It is about choosing differently from this moment forward. Unforgettable men are not born. They are built brick by brick, choice by choice, frame by frame. You do not need to be perfect. You just need to be intentional. Respect yourself. Embody strength that does not require proof. Live a life no one can rearrange. Become the man who does not need to be remembered because he never disappears from the story. The question is no longer, will she remember you? The question is, will you remember who you were before you made her the center of your life? Become that man again, or for the first time? Either way, it starts now. If this message resonated, share it, leave a comment, and tell me where you have struggled or where you have grown. I read every word because this is not just a video. It is a conversation that real men are not afraid to have. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.